Help us, Mr. McBoot.
Please, Mr. McBoot was my father. I should probably update Free McBoot at some point. There's probably some cool stuff.
It's not bad. Updating OPL is more important, though. The new OPL build's really nice.
Can't be nicer than this.
I mean, it actually boots Super Dragon Ball Z, so yeah, it is.
Oh, sick. All right.
Yeah. Oh, you got Crimson Tears on there. Nice.
Yeah, baby. We played that one when we were doing PS2 stuff, and that's a warm favorite of mine.
Yeah.
It's
I like the one NPC in town who, when you talk to her, she just goes, "Oh!" Yeah. Yeah, I really like that game, except that one dungeon that's the city, where your character auto-targets all the landmines, so they just run into all of them.
I forgot about that shit. That game is such a fucking mess, but I love it.
Yeah. The good parts are really good, and then
Yes.
there's also that.
I love the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's also a game I played, that was actually one of the games that succeeded when I was looking for something to fill the Phantasy Star Online 1 gap.
Oh, okay, alright.
Because, like, small area focus, character combat's more involved than Diablo.
But not that much more. It's still definitely like a Tekken combos game.
Yeah. But you can also, like, yeah. And also, like, there's a counterattack move, which is more attention than you usually get.
That's true. That's true. It kind of feels like a Dreamcast.
Yeah. Okay, actually, let's see this. Oh, alright, yeah, we got audio now.
Oh, excellent.
It's normal. Oh, it's playing one of my favorite songs in the game.
Yeah, that's banging. What the hell?
Yeah, this one's called Swordsman in the Plain.
Are they all just, like, huge, enormous guitar riffs?
For the most part, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the many elements that, like, at the time it came out, people didn't appreciate it because, like, this is set in ancient China. It doesn't sound like ancient China to me.
Wait, you're telling me in the 90s/early 2000s people weren't down with this?
I mean, the wise among us were, you know. I understood that when I was playing this, I'm like, there wasn't a genre of music in feudal China that fit doing this.
That needs to be a ROM hack. Is there a guard that I'm missing?
Yeah, L1. Hold it.
Okay.
It's also the easiest way to rotate the camera.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's actually the only way to rotate the camera. Yeah, Samurai Warriors 2 has a dual analog stick camera.
Insane.
Wait, I'm still strafing, though.
When you hold it, and... Yeah. And that little bag is an item that dropped.
Yeah.
As an equipable item, I should say. I mentioned Fantasy Star Online. This is... Oh, right. I love Zhang Zhao's voice actor.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You tap it like PSO to rotate the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can hold it for guard and, like, strafe movement. But yeah, I mentioned Phantasy Star Online, and, like, this has that, like, movesets are more involved than just, like, hammering the button. Like, you can do that, but if you want to do this, like, specific combos, you actually have to know how many times you press square first. And, like, keep track of it in the animation. Because it doesn't, like, cue all your button inputs. It's still, like, animation based on when you press the charge attack button. And also when you clear levels, like, the weapon drops you find have randomized abilities.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's very Diablo.
Yeah, and then when you also, like, as you level up your character and also get better weapons and items, you can play on higher difficulty, switch to better items and stronger weapons.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that.
Mike's about to crank the hard.
That's the loot for me. Like,
Yep.
Any game that lets you play same difficulty, get better items, or higher difficulty, get better items, I'm into that.
Yeah. So some games, you can like combine weapons with other weapons to like build like the best one. And I really like that, and I like get the appeal, but that also makes it so that you like hold on to stuff that you're not actually going to use. And like, I kind of just like the arenas because then it's like, okay, well, I have one weapon that can like my attack speed's super fast and like it'll freeze my enemies in place, but this one makes it so that my character is like charge attacks are like way stronger, and I'm like fighting on horseback is kind of bad for most characters in this game, but for some of them, their moveset on horseback's really good. And so, like, you might get a weapon that makes you do more damage when you're on horseback. And, like, you might end up having to choose between those two instead of just having, like, the best one. So you play differently because that's how your weapon is.
Can you combo into the Musou moves, or are they just pretty much like a screen clear type thing?
I mean, you can use it to cancel out of like whatever you're doing. Like, it's a good also thing to have defensively if you get locked into a long combo.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hold it to use up the whole meter for the combo if you want to keep it going
I
too.
see.
Yeah, it needs to be full to initiate it, but otherwise you can do it for as long as you want.
Is that like a status effect that's causing you to glow green?
Yeah, the guard captain gave everyone a defense increase.
Okay.
What
Oh,
happened
because-
there?
You were close to your bodyguard who also had a full Musou gauge, so you did a dual Musou attack.
That rules.
Yeah, in before this in split screen, that was the only way you could do it, was to play with someone else and like choose to do it together, which is really cool. And like the presentation for that's one thing also that like with the later games, like I definitely like this level with of presentation with Dynasty Warriors 5, but like the flashiness also, yeah, it has bigger enemy counts, but like the presentation in general is also just really good, so it's still satisfying. It's just in a different way.
Not sure. Finally made it. Nice to see you, buddy.
Welcome.
Zheng get to the altar and call forth a revelation.
I don't like these red dots back there. This is the one problem with me is I'm just like, oh, red dots, gotta play red dots.
Yeah, I know how that is. But I will say, as a result of like weakening them and your troops handling them, if you clear out most of them and you advance, usually your troops will clear out the like stragglers.
Starman asked, "Is that a Scottish accent?" Yes, I think it was.
He's just he's a theatric. It's a little. He's a drama king. It's fine.
Theatrical parentheses Scottish.
Another has fallen to my spear.
He did do like the big rolling R, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like these games have to have like premium dub moments, or are they actually like well translated?
So
yeah, let's go.
So Dynasty Warriors 3 has some like infamous like bad voice acting clips, like bad in the way that they are incredible bad. It's especially like the scenario you're in right now, the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Like that has some incredible like right before they summon a big like storm of like firestorm attack, and guys is like, "You flaming idiots!" Like that. Yeah, great A stuff. But like 5, like this has like recognizable voice actors. Like I mean, Yuri Lowenthal's like 3 or 4 characters or something. This yeah, and like like Bo Billingsley and such. So like solid voice cast. The thing is, I'm not sure exactly what level of responsibility, like who's responsible for this, but it's a game about Chinese history by Japanese developers, translated, for not a super high budget by Americans. So the pronunciations for almost all the names are not really correct. Like some are more incorrect than others, such as like how's Quan pronounced? Quan? No, it's not. That's not how it's pronounced. Chuan. Chuan. Like so, like you go from like this. It was so weird to play than like Dynasty Warriors 7, which has a lot of the same voice actors, and now instead of saying like one character in Wu, his name is spelled Taishi, and then space, and then Ci, and I guess they just guessed how to pronounce it because in like this game they say, oh, Taishi Chi, I'm Taishi Chi. His name's actually pronounced Taishitsa, which then in 7 they do pronounce correctly, and they pronounce more names correctly over time. But like, and I should say the most infamous one that they didn't fix until I think Warriors Origin on PS2 is the leader of the Kingdom of Wei's name is CAO space CAO. It's Cao Cao, but they pronounce it Cao Cao the whole time. His first line of his story mode is I am Cao Cao.
I think it rules that like they eventually got there. It just took them 7 tries. That's so many tries. That's a whole lot of tries.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure because like the thing is, this is one thing I notice more when I play the games that don't have a dub that are only in Japanese is that like because a lot of figures of ancient Chinese history were referenced in Japan, they developed their own names like pronunciations for them. Oh. So they don't. You can't really use those as a reference because they have completely different phonemes. They just wouldn't pronounce any of these the same anyway. So like they can't really look it over and be like, oh, you're not saying Zhang Jiao right, but like on the other hand, they made this because like the leader of the company loves Chinese history, so maybe it's just that they didn't have any oversight, which is plenty likely.
I do just love the idea of a game that's based on history and is wholly dedicated to historical inaccuracy. It's like the opposite of playing like a PTO game or something.
Same company.
That's the most like dad game of all time. You give Dad like World War II that game, he's occupied for 15 years.
Mm-hmm. But that had its own sort of action spin-off with a Warship Gunner. It's not like Dynasty Warriors. It's still, excuse me. It's got some like simulation to it, still, but it's also like it's not that much of a simulation. it's more of a complicated action game.
Is it like a boat game?
Yeah. You like have like a warship, and you can customize it with like different parts. So I guess it's like Gran Turismo for warships, you know.
That is like an extremely satisfying game for a very specific type of person.
Upon learning this, I left Yuan Shao's camp.
Wow.
I have traveled across the land in search of
I do like that they do like reality TV style testimonials between levels.
I learned that Yuan Shao had formed an army.
You need to see this man sitting down in a room on a big couch.
Dong Zhuo is a traitor to the Han. This is the perfect opportunity to bring an end to this chaos. I have gone to serve Gong Sun Zan.
I have gone to
so
serve
he's still included, but yeah, he's not a big character.
So you are Zhao Yu, the one who drove off the yellow turbans. I was wondering where you went, but here you are serving Gong Sun Zan. What a terrible waste of talent. Oh well. We are here now to oust the tyrant Dong Zhuo. I'm sure you will perform even better now that you are under the leadership of the great Yuan Shao. Our target is Dong Zhuo.
Now that I think of it, actually, that symbol they're using for Hula Gate is, I think it's literally the icon from one of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games.
That feels accurate. That feels very accurate. I'm dying at the way he pronounced "oh well." I'm just like, "oh well."
This villain pretends to serve the Emperor, but only serves himself. He shall pay with his life. But everybody follow me. We shall reclaim the capital, the Han. must be returned to its former glory.
Oh yeah. I did pick up a weapon, but is it literally the same weapon that I already have? Oh,
Yeah, but it's got a different weight, and it gives you 3 extra. I don't know exactly how much 1 life is worth, but you'll have more health with this equipped.
okay.
Yeah.
Does light just make it? Is that just attack speed, or what's the scoop?
It's attack speed. There's supposed to be properties with like heavy weapons when you like do attacks, you're less likely to get interrupted. But a weird thing in this is that like it's not really balanced that well for it. And funnily enough, there are a lot of characters with, like really fast movesets whose like unique, like guaranteed best weapon is heavy.
Okay.
So it's actually just really bad. But they fixed it sort of in the expansion thing for this. Yeah. And these are the items. This is one of the things that makes it so that you don't have to keep starting on easy for everybody. Is these are unlocked for everyone when you get them.
Okay. Are they consumable,
Yeah.
or is it?
No, they're like equipment.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're stat buffs.
Okay.
Can you
reason
And as you level up,
consumable.
Between missions.
no, not between missions in this one.
Okay. Just torment Mike by like, there's better loot out there.
Well, that's true, but
Yeah, you weren't lying about this guitar. This kicks ass. This is
Yeah.
sweet.
Let's bring these scoundrels down for good.
I'm expecting these guys to pull out snowboards after hearing that.
Finish them off.
I didn't see where my goal was, but
it's up and to the right on the map. So, which is northeast. Actually, it has a name. In fact, directions.
So they just announced that one officer was fighting with another. Is that like, is it good to go rush to that section, or is it just kind of like an upgrade?
It's an update that it when it tells you that, but I mean, depending on where it is on the map, it could be relevant. But also, it depends on what character you're playing as to like some characters will get the same objectives on the same map. I'm not gonna like pretend that every character is different every time, but like some characters be like, oh no, you're gonna go take the west side, the west base first. And one of the things I like about like this version, like iteration of these games, is that they have like an open battlefield, so you can just kind of go wherever. It's weird. It feels like a very PS2 thing. I don't really like. I guess like open battlefield or like open level is the term where you can go anywhere, but it's not like an open world. It's a structured level, but it's just you can go wherever you want in it, and there's no like explicit thing that's gating you into one spot or another. Whereas later games will be like, well, you need to complete this objective, and this gate won't open until you complete this objective, and then the characters have dialogue about it, which can lead to like some missions where you know what to do in the mission, so you rush the objective, and you're still waiting like a minute or two for the dialogue to catch up to you having achieved it.
Yeesh.
that's confusing. Can I get a
Oh,
horse?
shit, yeah, you need a horse. You need that horse.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Damn.
Red top. There we go.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so the thing about a lot of Dynasty Warriors games is that when you're on horseback, your character will attack on both sides of the horse, which makes sense because it's like, oh, I'm just going to be rushing through guys. But if you want to actually focus on enemies on one side, it's really difficult. I think there's literally one character in this game who will attack to just one side of the horse, making him like the best on horseback in the game. In a later one, I can't remember, I think it was 7, they made it so most characters default to attacking on one side of the horse. Bizarrely, the guy who used to attack on one side of the horse in 7 now attacks on both sides of the horse, so he's the worst character on horseback. But yeah, also, yeah. If you hold a guard, you can maintain your facing on horse. You can't actually, like, yeah, you can't guard, but like you can also do that, yeah.
Oh,
It's a little easier.
Yeah, but like I kind of feel. I see what you're saying. Like this is way harder.
Yeah.
This one guy.
Yeah, I tried all sorts of stuff. With that?
I love the idea of having the horse just kind of like sit there as a modal way of moving around and not necessarily just automatically better. If that makes sense, but it does
Yeah.
seem annoying.
Into my spear.
Yeah.
God damn it! What's the button to get on the horse?
It's jump, but you have to be standing like to its side and facing it and like stopped.
Cool.
Yeah. You think that's bad? Older games actually didn't have an indicator for when you were like in a position to mount the horse. So like just standing in the wrong spot and not like jump in place.
They fell for it. Attack!
Just gonna walk sideways through everybody like a windmill.
Yeah, and the ones where you attack to one side, that's actually a pretty good strategy for some characters. Like if their moveset's more based around like hitting wide like areas, like moving through enemies a lot, with a very mobile moveset, but you want to focus on people, it's better to get on the horse and then like side saddle into them.
It's like Outrun 2, Mike. You're just drifting.
Yeah. Alright, and the crates are good to break because those have the highest chance of containing weapons and items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you see those items in it. Like,
They're
it's
not
one of the
just
things I
like-
kind of liked in this. What's that?
Oh, I said they're not just for recovery.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a weapon, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's not until later games that in Samurai Warriors 2, one of the characters has a special ability that's the whistle, and it'll call the horse to his side. And in later games, they made it so that everyone can do that as like just a button they can press. And then later games also made it so if you hold down the button, you'll get on the horse like when it arrives. Which is funny because then like years after that, I remember it was like, what is it? I think it's like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or something, like way far into that series. They've like some articles like, oh hey, you can hold down a button and the horse will like come to your side and then you'll automatically get on. I'm like, what? It took them it took them longer than Koei to come up with this.
Now is our chance. Prepare to attack.
Every time I hear more about Assassin's Creed, it makes me want to play it less.
It's a very odd series, like in that it's so iterative, but also so much work has to go into it that like
Yeah.
it's expensive and iterative. Whereas Dynasty Warriors, I wish they had more budget for it.
Did you say up into the right or up into the left?
You already cleared that, like the officer that was being highlighted. So yeah, generally those pink dots are where the officers and like captains are, and that's what you want to focus on. Usually, if there's like a glowing indicator, you can. That's where the action is. If you want to help out your allies.
This should be easy enough.
Yeah, some games have more explicit systems to like make you like more encouraged to like follow the flow of the battle. Like in this one,
Go and attack.
as long as your commander doesn't get killed, or you don't get killed, you won't fail the mission, so you can do whatever you want. Whereas like in Samurai Warriors 4, there are morale zones, so that like when you clear objectives, like the morale will like drop. But if you're in there when there's like high morale, you'll do way less damage, even like grunt enemies, and like you can't just like do what you. And like it's interesting because it's one of those things that's more restrictive, but in a way I like, because it's I don't know. The Musou games have a thing where I'm trying to think of how to put. Okay, it's like I talked to a guy who liked DMC Devil May Cry more than Devil May Cry 4 once, and his thing was, well, you have to switch weapons in DMC Devil May Cry, which is why it's better. I'm like, but I just did that in the other games because it was more fun to do. Like, I thought that's like, that's the point, is that's more fun. And there's some people who play these games, like, you don't have to pay attention to the map, you just mash square the whole time, and like, I guess, but that's less fun, so why are you doing it? Like, why don't you just have more fun? And also in this one, playing the game better is also like faster.
God,
Like you beat the missions faster.
How do I
You don't.
face him? He's just constantly behind me, and I'm trying to turn the camera around, and I'm just stun locked.
Well, I mean, now you got a full Musou gauge, so you can.
Yeah,
But
there's
yeah.
2 generals here.
Frickin' Steve asked if Lu Bu is a Dynasty Warriors character. I believe.
I mean, he was a guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a guy in real life.
Yeah.
Not sure. Asked. They did the Hyrule Dynasty Warriors. What series do you want to see you do a collab with Dynasty Warriors? Oh God, I don't know.
Soul Calibur.
Alright.
Yeah, because weirdly, like, their big crossover series, Warriors Orochi, the third one, they got Sophitia in there, and she's, like, really fun to use. And, oh, here's Lu Bu, actually. There you go.
Oh shit.
Oh, he is a guy.
Vincent Price. Yeah.
You coward!
I gotta admit, the costumes in this game are baller.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done with Soul Calibur yet, just because like they did that one collab and people really liked it.
Be denied next time. Another has fallen to my
I think it would be the best option here, but they have a One Piece one, which I think would be Mike's option.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. I'm honestly just waiting until I'm far enough in the story to not like spoil it for myself.
Ah.
I'll stomp you into a bloody
Mike's rapidly become a One Piece guy.
It's alarming how quickly.
All right. So the thing about Lu Bu is that he's really strong, and you might be better off not fighting him. Actually.
What?
should be easy enough.
Yeah. You can do it. You can beat him. It's possible, but if you die, you don't get to keep anything you collected on the mission. You don't
that
get any
sucks.
experience.
Alright,
Yeah.
we'll go over here.
That said, you can interim save in this game,
Oh,
and it's determined
Well,
by
I
like
can't because my memory card's full. But yeah,
Right.
theoretically.
PS2 Mem
actually-
Card Pro, save us.
Stay away from Lu Bu.
Oh yeah.
Make your way around
Yeah,
and
there you
aim
go.
at Dongzhuo.
I do love how easy it is to just murk horses.
You think you can stop me?
It's sweet that you juggled him off the horse.
You think I'll just roll over and die?
And now you have red health, so your Musou gauge fills automatically, and you do what's it called? This one, a true Musou? Yeah.
Won't lose the second time. Another has fallen to my spear.
I love I won't lose a second time.
I challenge you.
Does my health recharge at some point, or
No, you got to find healing items somewhere. There's usually like pots by the gates on the map, which yeah, so yeah, and guard captains sometimes drop healing.
Now, attack.
That is so many dudes getting fucked up at once.
Yeah,
I challenge you.
yeah, they're gonna keep coming through until you kill the guard captain. Actually, so
oh, where is
if
it?
you want to farm KOs, then you can keep doing that.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't even see a guard captain around.
Yeah, get that health pick up. Thanks, Steve.
Where is it? Where? Oh my god! Turning the camera around so I can see the guard captain means I get hit in the back.
Take this.
I can't go through there? Alright.
Nah,
Oh, I am on the edge of the stage, aren't I? Alright.
yeah.
Wait, why is there still a pink? Okay. I don't see one back there, but okay.
You can also pause and check the unit info thing. If you...
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Might just be the way the dots are overlapping on the map.
Yeah. Oh, what's this guy doing way down there?
Having a bad time, I'm guessing. Or, nope, there's just not that many guys around.
yeah, he's not doing anything. He's just fighting.
Your skills are not even worth my time.
All right, then peace out, bro.
You seem to be in a bit of a hurry. Leave this to me.
Thank you. Someday, I shall repay this obligation. So that is Liu Bei. Eventually, he shall bring peace to this troubled land.
Hurry on ahead. Leave this area to me.
Can you steal his horse?
Oh, I don't like that he's following me. Stop that.
He'll stop once you get far enough away. The horse might buck you off. You can try. Or that'll happen.
Oh,
I don't think he likes you trying to steal his horse.
I just need
But,
to go in
yeah.
another entry, I assume.
Yeah.
Is
There you go.
another entry?
It's like a set of stairs somewhere. Yeah, I think that's part of the map.
Yeah.
But there's like a bunch of red there. What's
Yeah.
going on there?
Yeah, that's the detour route. It marked it earlier. There you go, yeah. They're right on the way. Yeah, this is another thing that can kind of get people down. So if you don't follow the objectives, then you can sometimes end up with times where you're like on the opposite side of the map for more stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like actually that guy in the middle's trying to do something. It's probably fine.
I mean, I'm not gonna turn around for his ass.
Nah.
If you stand in my way, I shall show no mercy.
Get comboed off your horse, bro.
So I think in this one you can do a charge attack in midair for like a slam attack.
Sick.
Okay, yeah, that's that attack. Right.
I would rather live and redeem myself than die in shame.
Another has fallen to my spear!
Free horse.
I would rather live and redeem myself than die in shame. I said the same shit to my 5th grade math teacher. Those multiplication tables are no joke.
I was pretty good at doing long division in my head, which I shouldn't have told any adult because I'm like, oh, you're good at math, and then they put me in advanced math and I did poorly, and like, oh, you're not applying yourself. I'm like, no, I haven't demonstrated any further skill than doing long division in my head, which like, you see the lesson plan for advanced math, that's not even on there at all. That's not even the skill for that.
This should be easy enough.
They should have just had division class, you know?
Oh yeah, also, for One Piece Pirate Warriors, I actually got One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 just because I heard from someone else who, like, hadn't really read One Piece or, like, watched it or anything. I was like, that's, like, one of my favorite Musou games, and I tried it out, and it is really good. And the thing is that Pirate Warriors 3 actually starts out like, oh, here's a chapter where they meet this character, and then here's a chapter where they meet this character. It's like, alright, that's pretty straightforward. And then I think, like, 10 chapters or so in, a chapter opening just had, like, 15 proper nouns I'd never heard before. I'm like, alright, this is the point where I'm, like, not gonna understand the story now. That's fine. Yeah. An interesting thing about the Pirate Warriors games is, like, Pirate Warriors 2 has actually just a completely, like, made an original story to that game. But, Pirate Warriors 3 and 4, since they end at a point where the ongoing story hasn't ended, they have their own endings. It's like, oh, well, what if it ended here?
Okay.
What if they achieved a bunch of their goals? Like, they don't find the One Piece at the end of each one, but, like, you know. Like, what if, like, a major ongoing conflict was just resolved at this point?
Attack without mercy.
What if the One Piece was inside of us the whole time?
Retreat is an acceptable strategy. Another has fallen.
And
to
a
my
lot of dudes
spear.
here.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I won't lose a second time.
Also, you've been doing like combos this whole time, so it's probably late to mention, but like,
Give them everything.
so for each character, like their charge attack without doing any of the combos, like different for each of them. But like, then if you do one like light attack and then you do a regular attack and then you do a charge attack, that's usually like a launcher attack. Then you do 2 lights and a charge, that's a stun attack. And then when you do 3, that's a knockback attack. And also when you knock guys into other guys, they also get knocked down. So, like, and it's interesting because then each character's like they're still different with each moveset. So even 2 characters who have pretty similar movesets, their charge 2s aren't going to be the same. Or their like knockback attack's not going to be the same.
I'm assuming some characters like better at knockback and
Yeah,
like wide swiping or whatever.
yeah. Like I mean, generally characters with better like bigger range are just better because you know it's a game about hitting a lot of guys. So that's why like Lu Bu is so good because his weapon's big and he does big like spinning overhead slashes with his like basic combos.
Yeah.
Go and attack the enemy camp like the wind.
But some characters have like other gimmicks to them. Like one character can like some of his finishing moves send out like fireballs, but they're not just like here's like shoot a fireball, go straight forward. It like floats forward and then it detonates after a set amount of time, and you can use that to like set up combos and combo off of that. But for some characters, like their initial moveset, like with a medium weight weapon or with no other like attack speed increase, is not very good, and you'd like want other weapon abilities to make it really shine. But that can be pretty rough if your starting moves just don't seem that good. You're like, oh, I don't know if I even like this character very much. So like, it makes sense why some later games separated how many combos you can do. Like they made it like a character level thing instead of like what weapons you found.
Shall squash you beneath my feet.
Do you have like a main that you would gravitate to if you like picked up a brand new one of these?
I mean, depending on the game, if it has like a character-based story or not. I like Shingsai. She's in the same kingdom in Shu, and she has like a sword and shield moveset. So it's like and it's like very like mobile actually. Like one of her like, years before Breath of the Wild, she had a move where she'd surf on her shield at enemies, and it was. And you can do it into enemies, actually, so it's even better.
How'd they steal that from Breath of the Wild before it came out, though? That's wild.
Yeah.
This Dong guy is not easy. Come on, block!
Uh-oh. Lubu's coming back.
Where is he?
It gave you a message that he's heading back to protect him, so you
Get
gotta
outta
finish
here.
off Dong. You gotta kill Dong Chua before he comes back.
Well, yeah, but he's chasing.
You can hit him. You can get him. Just do a quick turn in the little... Yeah,
Just know
there
that
you
if
go.
you get juggle comboed to death, they don't put your name on your gravestone. Musou, this man.
There you go.
A pleasure. Gone.
Rest in peace.
Another has fallen to my spear.
Should we switch over to Samurai?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the in-game reset, so I'm gonna go hit the button.
We have defeated the rebel leader, Dong Zhuo. I would like to thank each member of the Allied
Hey, Scrappy,
forces
what's up?
that
Nice to
participated
see
in
ya.
this struggle. As your leader, I am proud of you all.
Not sure once Max Pizza Slices on the gravestone. That's a dangerous game because at some point in time you just start eating more pizza, and that's going to put you closer to the grave.
That's got me remembering all those Tombstone commercials from the 90s. You know, it was like It's like, what do you want on your tombstone? They'd be like, pepperoni and cheese.
Yeah. And then the other guy, they just ended with the other person being like, "Oh," like they're just like they couldn't handle it. They got owned to death or whatever. That's how all those ended, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And they
Love
get
the
him the
tone of
pizza
that.
to their credit. Like,
Hey, are you hungry? Fucking die.
I could go.
I feel like there's some '90s ads that were like that.
Very much so. I mean, what isn't that the point of that one? What do you want on your tombstone? Is like a threat a cowboy makes to you.
Yeah, but that one's in reverse because it's a threat. But then it's like, oh, actually, it's about pizza now. Now that I made it about pizza, I've canceled your threat, and now you have to give me pizza.
I don't want to have to admit that I was talking about your actual gravestone. So what's the difference? What is it? What is this one compared to Dynasty Warriors?
So Summer Wars actually is like where they started focusing more on like character-driven action. So like, it's wild. Like actually, because I was playing through the games for podcast research, which got delayed for various reasons. But yeah, this one has more of a character focus and more of like a diverse moveset focus, and like the presentations also got more of an emphasis.
And I'm assuming this is Japanese history then.
Yes.
Oh, he looks sick.
Yeah, he's a ninja with stretchy arms.
Like an ancient Japanese juggalo.
His spear has a cannon in it.
Whoa.
Did it like historically too, or?
Historically, he used cannons in a lot of battles, so they're like, let's just put those two together.
Do you have a recommendation?
The lady to the left of, yeah, her.
Oh.
With the jagged sword, yeah. Her
Okay.
movesets are really good.
Her headdress is incredible.
Yeah.
Kyushu is almost all in the hands of the Shimazu clan. So if the Shimazu are destroyed, then Kyushu will be subdued. That man there is Yoshihiro.
I will say, yeah, actually, now watching this cutscene, that kind of shuts down that there was Japanese oversight into the voice acting, because they're not enunciating these correctly.
Not sure in the chat is asking, what's the deal with the Juggalo guy? What's the quick and dirty? What's his history? Well, we know he's at least a ninja. I don't know much about him other than that.
Oh, Kotaro Fuma. Yeah, he's a ninja who worked for a different warlord. The whole juggalo paint thing, stretchy arms, loving darkness. That's all their characterization.
That was sick. Cutting the helmet off.
Not any woman.
Absolutely.
A Tachibana. Ginchio Tachibana.
Kyushu
Oh,
will be out.
Tachibana. So this is like canon to Kamen Rider Blade.
Ginchio Tachibana was the daughter of Dosetsu Tachibana, a powerful lord.
Oh, where's the Kamen Rider Musou?
As his only child,
There's a game that's kind of like that. Actually, is that who's that by?
she succeeded him as head of the Tachibana clan. At the time of her succession,
I'm gonna take
the
a guess in the
Tachibana
dark
were
who's that by.
already
I'm gonna say
losing
Ban
territory to
Presto.
their rivals, the Shimazu.
Just throwing
That's
that
by
out there.
aiding
Ginchio fought
in
Ooh.
Bandai Namco Studios.
Eventually,
Ooh, that's
the
probably
clan was
kinda
pushed to
good.
the brink of annihilation.
Ish.
Things changed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I mean, one of the last Batried War games they made, was infamous for really long loading times, and also you could there's like like you can summon your horse in these games. In those, you could hold a button to summon the motorcycle, which drove up to you with no animation or sound at all. just like slides into frame.
So
Yeah.
you're telling me it's great, huh?
Yeah, amazing. Not good, but amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of up my alley. I like a little jank. Presentation on this is very different. So
Yeah.
Until all of Japan is mine. If these Shimazu have a problem with that, they're welcome to a clobbering.
This is my chance to destroy the Shimazu and
electricity on
restore
that
the
sword?
greatness of my name.
Yeah.
First, we take Tsuruga Castle. That'll be the base of our attack.
Mike, I think that guy's doing your Chicago guy voice.
Like I said, they owe me a lot of money. Okay.
An overwhelming opponent. Unbeatable odds. This could prove interesting.
Come then. Let's pay our respects to the Monkey King. The foolish editors. You put an end
Oh yeah, so this has a more traditional like level up system. So that scroll that enemy dropped is like an EXP scroll, and you can level up mid mission. Like it's very small, but there's a meter. Yeah, I think it's like. Does it show up here? Ah, maybe not.
Is it that
I might
little
be
red
thinking
meter
of
next
it.
to the face?
Anger of his restless spirits. And soon, his
Oh.
rage will pierce
Yeah,
deep into the
pretty sure
hearts
that's
of
it.
his
Yeah.
enemies. Shimazu,
Yeah. Also, the R1 button now, because in Dynasty Warriors it was like a bow and arrow, but now it's a stance. And yeah, doing it with square or triangle can yield different moves.
Okay.
Yeah. And additionally, like your midair, like I think triangle attacks. Oh, yeah, you got a buff on your sword. Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the movesets in this are a lot more flashy. Yeah, there we go. That was
Yo!
sick.
Mike, she's got an Akuma fireball. You know what to do. With it.
I'm not really sure what's happening with this
I
one.
am as tough as they come.
might like that is a rare find.
Alright, yeah, so it popped up learn above your character, because this has, like, instead of the items you would find and equip, instead officers have, like, a skill attached to them, and you have a chance of getting it when you beat them. And you can equip those to, like, I don't even know if there's an upper limit on how many you can equip, it's just, like, the work of attaining them.
See, I'm assuming that like people go through like boss runs or whatever, trying to get him to drop.
Yeah, though it's not just bosses you can get it from, so... They make it a little more explicit in the Warriors Orochi games, the crossover between Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, where, like, a stage will, like, have... Like, a character has a bunch of skills attached to it, but then you have to do complete certain objectives to get them per character. So it's like, oh, I want to get, like, run, like, faster. Okay, this character has it, and I need to get, like, 200 KOs on the stage without using any moves that use the Musou gauge.
Okay.
And then, like, they'll have one of those, like, speed up abilities on them. Another character have another one, and so those will, like, accumulate over time.
Plan is to take the glory while you do all the work.
That guy's cool.
Man, he wins a lot of character popularity polls.
For being rude.
Probably for being good looking.
And rude. It's a great combination.
Yeah. It's very popular with the... It was like a... I think they actually did like a poll based on like but like on like gender lines, and women really liked him.
I get it. He's got the most powerful bangs of anyone in any of these games since we've seen that. So you said that Warriors Orochi was a crossover between the two?
Yeah, so like that, and that one's interesting because it's in a... Because it's an original story, like, all these characterizations of these people are, like, not even really true to the already romanticized versions of history. Like, they're more extreme, generally. But with an original story, now they're not, like, bound by what happened. So they can, like, actually do more interesting things with the characters. It's actually one of the things I really like. Like, Warriors Archie 1 people are, like, the premise of the story is that like Orochi, like this powerful demon, like summoned people from across time to like just challenge himself against history's strongest warriors who just all happen to be from feudal China and feudal Japan. And then later Soul Calibur, you know, but so like they're brought from their own kingdoms, but and like some of them get separated, but like the Shu storyline is people from the kingdom of Shu, like that.
Tell me the Nightmare wasn't a real guy.
Well, he's German. That's a big problem.
I think you'll find I am as tough as they come.
But yeah, then in Warriors Orochi 2, like people have split off to like different groups. So like you'll start like the Samurai Warriors plotline, but then Zhang Jiao, the guy you killed on the first stage in Dynasty Warriors 5, like was pulled from time so you like he didn't get killed in the story of Warriors Orochi 1 or like Dynasty Warriors at that point. So he's like hanging out with those people at the beginning.
I kind of love that. That's very charming to be doing with a bunch of fucking historical figures.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like forbidden love? Do they have relationships? Is there drama?
You know, no one really like across like any lines like gets in any romantic relationships. So people build a lot of friendships, and just like often it's like, well, this character in Samurai Wars is basically like this guy in Dynasty Warriors, so they hit it off, or you know, or they don't. Like Cao Cao, a lot of characters think Nobunaga is Cao Cao because they have very similar like demeanors and facial hair.
Who's the greatest warrior in Kyushu? The Tachibana have
Oh right, yeah, there's a thing in this I forgot to mention. If you have a full Musou gauge and you just tap the button, the meter keeps draining in this one even if you don't hold the button, but instead of doing a Musou attack, you'll be in like basically bullet time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like you can just like tap it right now and just do normal attacks. And everyone else is in slow motion.
From nowhere. It simply is. You're a stubborn man.
I don't remember how I did the sword though.
I think it's R1 plus square or triangle.
Watch that man.
There you go.
Might look the other way when the
Oh no, that's the attack. Never mind, it's the other one.
I gotta admit, the shit talking in this one is on another level.
Starman with the philosophical question. Yeah, he's doing his Musou attack, you know.
I guess I'll have to thank you.
What's the Starman philosophical question? Should we ask it? Let's do it. If you met an exact double of yourself, do you think you and the other you would get along? No. No fucking way. That's not possible. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'd work out.
No. I'll open it up to the room, of course, but like, no, there's no way. I'm a lot for me already.
If I do say so myself.
I think I'm too selfish, and that doesn't extend to another version of myself.
Well, I'm satisfied. Let's pull back.
I believe
Also,
second... Oh, go ahead.
So I just like I saw you do it earlier, Mike, but yeah, R2 is a dodge roll you can do in this one.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
sweet.
I did it by accident then.
Yeah. Well, I know it's because you didn't do it again.
The time has come.
Imagine if there were two Bachmans, it would be kind of like a spy versus spy situation.
There are two Bachmans.
I mean two Mike Bachmans.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to erase your entire family. Sorry, Mike.
Wow.
Imagine if there were two mics. Like, can you imagine if there were two mics?
Like on Earth, that can't be.
That's Bachman and Jersey.
Actually, that's maybe the most like theoretically upsetting concept of a double is like you but from another place. Like if I had a California accent, I might hit me with a car.
I think you'll
Boston
find
Bachman
I
is a very upsetting thought.
Boston Baked Beans.
I don't like that.
I'm delighted. You know, the first thing that came to thought was like a southern version of Sid, but this motherfucker knows what cookout is, so he's already been there. He knows. He gets it.
That's true. Yeah, I went to college in North Carolina and lived there for 2 more years after that. So, know about cookout. I say y'all now, and my enunciation's ruined.
I
It's
still
only 2
haven't
years
made it
to-
to a cookout.
No?
No, we passed through, but the timing never worked out.
Mm.
Well, you're a Buc-ee's man, right?
I absolutely am a Buc-ee's fan. Last time I went to Buc-ee's, we spent $600.
Do you own the store now?
Yeah.
My brother is in trouble. We must not lose him. Let's go.
I mean, your brother's in trouble. Didn't you just eat shit a minute ago?
Prepare yourself.
Not disappoint me. Dare you try to take my head.
Yoshihiro Shimazu. At long last, you will die by my hand.
Oh yeah, another odd thing about the localization of these games. So in people might have noticed in the character select for Dynasty Warriors that the characters are written with their family name first. So Sun Quan, Sun Sa, Sun Shangzhang. It's like that's written that way. But in this one, they did first name, last name for everyone, and they haven't changed it to date. They never changed it, and I'm not really sure why. Like, it's not a huge deal, but it is like a little confusing because even in other games, like in Neo, they do family name and then given name, and that's also a co-ed game.
God, Neo is so good.
It is. Yeah, I was trying to mod Elden Ring, and the modding thing just causes my game to crash on startup. I don't know why. I'm not doing something wrong. I tried every method there is. And, like, people who do YouTube videos where they say I lived that instead of I survived that can do it. So clearly I should be able to do it as well. But, yeah, I think it's just flat out like I'd need to reinstall Windows to make it work. Oh, nice.
Oh, eat shit.
Get away. Yeah, bro.
This is some kind of mistake. I never lose.
I think you'll find
Bro,
I'm
asking for a
tougher
recon
than
on sword hits.
Very pretty work you're doing out there.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Not hurting me.
This lady is cool as hell.
Yeah, I like her a
God,
lot.
block, you piece of shit.
Have you been rotating the camera with that right stick?
Sometimes.
Oh, hey, back up.
Inconceivable.
I think you'll find I am as tough as they
Cool. I love to come out of a cutscene and hit start.
Oh, hey, there's a Musou drink over there.
Is there somewhere?
Yeah, it was in the middle of that crowd.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Fine.
New move.
Nice.
Okay.
New move.
A glorious death awaits me, but not today.
I think you'll find I
I
am
love that they just let him casually walk out.
He hadn't killed him yet in history, but
2 important military commanders decided they were doping out. Fine.
yeah. I think I saw a video once where someone's like, I have an idea for the next game, for the Dynasty Warriors game, is that you should be able to affect history, like, depending on what you do during battles. And, like, the combination is so unbelievably complicated that, like, you just have to have no idea how game or anything is made. Like, Yeah, yeah. What if the very first battle, someone who died in history that was very important to like another person didn't die? That could change functionally everything that happens after that. Like that.
I'm
How,
not gonna lie,
like,
I thought you were gonna say you should be able to change real history.
This ain't no fun.
I think you'll
Using
find
accent
I am
replay to give Zhao Zhao a rifle.
Now Musou will bow down to me too.
Nickelodeon takes over your cultural past.
From wretched battlefields spring glorious victories.
Damn, she's so fly.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the newer games actually don't have those victory poses and screens. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm level 6 though, so can I pretty much crank up the difficulty, or? Pretty
You
much.
might be able to with this.
Ooh.
There you go.
Get 4
That's one thing.
extra squares?
Yeah, that's one thing I like in Samurai Warriors. Is characters have like types, so their movesets are not all like the same combinations of buttons. So like some characters favor doing like her, she can do a long string of normal attacks, and they all have different charge attacks after each one. Where some characters like they have only like 4 combo hits, but then the charge attacks can chain up multiple times on top of that. Ooh,
Yeah, there's the
you can go to
shop.
the shop.
Alright, alright.
Welcome. Today is our grand opening. I hope to see you
There you go,
around here
those.
often.
Well, this is the upgrade screen.
What's that?
This is the upgrade screen.
Oh, so you're upgrading your sword.
Oh, but I just got a lightning sword from the last.
Yeah, yeah. And you
Oh,
can press X.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just get random upgrades on it.
What?
Sweet.
What's RNG?
Range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not it increases how random your
yeah,
numbers are. Okay, that's alright.
Yeah. This is a kind of a wild skill tree.
these are... I mean, obviously stuff like get more experiences. Oh, this is what's on sale.
Wait, you can buy different horses?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Thank you. Please come again.
I do love that they have like the ye old horse track style names.
Hideyoshi defeated the Shimazu, and the island of Kyushu was brought into his domain. Thankful for Ginchiyo's help, he praised her ability highly, and the Tachibana name became famous throughout the land. A few years later, only 2 forces remained not yet under Hideyoshi's control. They were the Hojo clan in Kanto and the Date clan in Oshu.
Majima.
Hideyoshi wanted to show the Hojo how powerful he had become, and gathered all of his strongest retainers to attack their main castle in Odawara. Ginchiyo was among them, marching from the east. In the midst of the battle, a messenger appeared to report the arrival of Masamune Date. The powerful young lord of the north wished an audience with Hideyoshi, so he could express his desire to serve him.
I shall follow the path that I believe most just, wherever it may
Kanto, huh?
lead.
So this is like
Chapter 2.
Pokemon crossover?
Siege of Odawara Castle.
I'm surprised they haven't done a Pokemon Musou.
Victory.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that actually, Hyrule Warriors was originally pitched as a Super Smash Bros. Musou, but Nintendo wasn't interested.
Sap the will of anyone else who
Huh.
wants to oppose us.
Yeah.
Then
That's
we
not
will make
bad.
a new, happy Japan. That's right, folks. We're almost there.
Masamune Date is here to see you, my lord.
You probably skip these, eh?
It's up to you.
In Japanese, Masamune Date is voiced by Nobuyuki Hiyama, who is also the voice of Link.
Does he do any similar yelling?
Yeah. Yes, his attack yells are very similar. Yeah. So these are all equipped. Yeah, you can disable them if you want. But yeah, you have all your skills at the same time. I think there's some in the expansion that you can only equip one of at a time, but and in Warriors Orochi you can only equip a certain amount of skills.
I will never understand inverting the horizontal camera.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think of it like you're holding the stick on the tripod for a camera, and you're turning that, I guess that's it.
True.
Starman asked, Pokemon did a crossover with Fire Emblem, didn't they? I think it's Sengoku Basara.
That was Pokemon did a crossover with Nobunaga's Ambition, sort of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's more of like just a straightforward strategy RPG than, because if it was actually like Nobunaga's Ambition, then you'd have to manage like the flood water levels for the villages for their rice harvest and such. But you don't.
Oh, I'm kind of mad we don't have that.
I know, right? And you could manage the flood levels by using Pokemon, right?
Yes. Where you have to go sit down and have like a 3 weeks of negotiation with another general, and you're just bringing a Psyduck to increase your chances of fun.
Right, and then they could like repurpose like the crest on the helmet's actually like, oh my god, it's blocking Psyduck's power, but the crest on helmet, I can't. Incredible.
That's why the hats are so elaborate, actually. All of them.
Yeah. And they can say that Nobunaga has that instead of guns, is the reason why it was.
Nobunaga can't conquer Japan with 17 fish that look kind of like torpedoes.
I refuse to believe there's no way to change the camera.
The camera?
Yeah.
Not here, but you could probably on the main settings menu. I mean, you just started the mission.
Yeah, but like, I feel like having settings accessible from in-game is pretty standard.
Not the PS2 era, though.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get options on the pause screen.
Interrupt save's pretty nuts if you think about it.
It really is.
Yeah. Actually, so originally Dice Tours 2 in Japan didn't have any interim saving. In the American release, they added it, but it wasn't a menu option. There were just some crates where you'd crack them open and there's a memory card in there and that let you interim save. But yeah, then 3 almost did it. But interestingly, like if you go to interim save, you notice there's like an infinity sign by the memory card in this. How many interim saves you get is based on what difficulty you're playing.
Okay.
I love the idea of memory cards just appearing in nature, naturally. It's an off-run from a river.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a bit of research they did between the Japanese and American release. Like, oh my god, historically, we forgot the memory cards that were in the crates.
The third Warriors Orochi's game is about sneaking out a thumb drive.
There was actually a mission in Warriors Orochi 3 where I kept getting killed at the very end, and after I beat the mission, then... Or no, the final time I did the mission, I did an interim save, and then I didn't get killed at the end when I did it that time.
She is incredible. She is everything that I hope to be.
Yeah, no, it's very weird, because, like, these games have, like, game over screens that pop up, and then they kick you out to, like, whatever mission selection screen there is. In Warriors Orochi 3, you get a game over, it sends you back to the title screen.
First, open each of the castle gates from the inside.
So, like, it prompts you to save after each mission, but if you did, like, a bunch of menu stuff, like equipment management, and then you fail the mission and you didn't save, then you have to do all that over again, too.
God.
I really have no idea why.
Bro, that's just not true.
Well, I mean, the actual answer would be like dying of infection, but that, you know, that's not a mechanic in these, though. It is funny, like that's one thing that's very funny, especially in Dynasty Warriors 7, where they like you play through the Kingdom storyline, so like it can go past one character dying and continue the story. It's the amount of times where, like, you know, in a traditional narrative, you'd be like, then he was on his way to like take the capital, but then due to some kind of like hubris or whatever, he failed. But that's like, and then he got sick and he died, and so he didn't win.
I think you'll find
Nice.
I'm
Oh, a new move.
That little juggle
You're a
splash
cute
there.
little thing, aren't you?
I will fight to the death.
Yeah. Samurai Warriors 4 actually, instead of having character-based storylines, it's like clan-based. But
Yeah.
clans would work, you know, sometimes under a different umbrella anyway. So like stories still like there's still like more moving around and like having different allies, and that's where a lot of the drama comes from. What was the point I was gonna make? Oh yeah, but that like can also lead to some things like if you play as the Shimazu clan storyline, Toyohisa, the guy who like just was speaking earlier, is like a actual playable character, and his story ends with like, you know, the getting the advice to like, oh, you know, like you like shouldn't throw your life away, but then when he after you've beaten enough scenarios, you'll unlock like, oh, here's like the latter days of this clan mission, and you start at the next one and he's died because historically, yeah, that's what happened.
I love the idea of a game where you can get a 450 hit combo and then you immediately get sepsis and die.
Oh,
I gotta say, I am really impressed with the presentation on this one compared to the last one. Like, it's not that there was anything wrong with it, but this level feels more designed. It feels far less open. Like,
Yeah.
there needs to be a little bit more combat mechanics. I could be wrong there.
yeah, no, that's all true. It is much more like fleshed out in that way, flashier.
The soundtrack's
well-
kind of wild, but I do like it.
Yeah, like it's less butt rock meets, you know, traditional instrumentation. But yeah, like
That's
it's
a
well, they still got some, you know, some drum and bass, some techno.
I'm impressed by the drum and bass. I was not expecting it.
It is very funny that in Dynasty Warriors 3, the menu theme is like, I don't know, how, like a bare minimum copyright dodge of the funky drummer loop is the menu. That's it. There's no other instrumentation. It's just that.
Someone at Koei's been digging in the crates.
Yeah. I did think it was weird to hear Crazy Frog, but
Playable characters in Warriors Orochi 3: Sophisha and Crazy Frog, and Darth Vader. How is there not a Star Wars Musou?
Force Unleashed, I guess.
Yeah,
I-
you're not wrong though. Yeah.
Yeah. To
okay.
be fair, also, I mean, it's the same reason why I think like there are Star Wars fighting games, but it's like why is Lego Star Wars a good format for Star Wars? Because Lego games, a lot of people can have the same moves, and you're not like, where's all the moveset depth? I mean, the new one has like combo stuff in it, but like everyone has lightsabers and like force push and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, They're not all doing different stuff. Some people are just better at it than others.
Strong and beautiful.
7 different characters who can all just push a guy over.
Lucky me.
Wait, what I mean is, you're one of my best warriors.
Then why don't you let me do my job?
This woman needs to kill every man in her periphery.
Seriously.
Yeah. The strange thing is, Samurai Wars 3 actually, like, because she did rule the clan along with her husband.
Yeah.
They only add her husband in Samurai Wars 3 on onwards, and then that, like, changes the... like, she's not, like, subservient, but there's more dialogue that's like, oh, actually, I'm not concerned about him. No, it's fine.
Who
Why
needs a
does
husband?
every character sound like the dude from the Princess Diaries?
That's grunt acting school.
I couldn't think of the guy's name. I kept wanting to say Paul Giamatti, but that's not it.
I'm being pushed back.
The Billions Musa?
Yeah, it is actually interesting to think, like, because after Dynasty Wars 5, they did Dynasty Wars 6, where they tried to, like, refresh the formula, and, like, it has a lot of technical improvements over 5, but, like, because of, like, the cost of, like, all the added stuff, like, it actually has fewer characters than 5, and then a bunch of them have clone movesets and stuff like that.
Oh.
Whereas Samurai Wars 3 adds more characters, and the characters have more unique movesets, but they put that on the Wii initially, so it's actually technically less impressive than this game. Like, it runs at 30 FPS and has fewer enemies on screen.
Did they eventually port it, or is that like a system exclusive?
They did port an improved version to the PS3 and didn't localize it.
Oh yeah.
Great.
There's actually a lot of that for this series. Like, there's the PSP game, Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, where they sort of pulled, like, the Monster Hunter structure, but, like, through a Dynasty Warriors filter, so, like, you still fight groups of enemies, and those give you materials, not just, like, you fight, like, a big boss and they get you materials. And it was actually really good, and it reviewed fairly well, and that one is the one that didn't sell well enough for them to bring the sequel over in
great.
English.
Fuck. I would guess I was always under the impression that like these games sell pretty well, but maybe I could be wrong.
They usually do. But yeah, like that one was like a spin-off, and I guess it just didn't like have the same appeal. Or like I guess I don't know, maybe they didn't really like do a good job of selling it, because they made an HD console version of it, and I guess it's probably the cost, because the HD console version of Dynasty Warriors Strike Force 1, they actually made new models and animations for it.
Oh.
But it's still structured the same way, so it's still small rooms, like loading screens in between each, but the game actually feels different, like better to play. But then for the sequel, they didn't localize it at all, but the PS3 version of that is just an HD version of the PSP game.
I love those, though. I mean, they look so strange.
Yeah.
It's like the lowest res models you've ever seen.
That's what they did for the PS3 version of Monster Hunter Portable Third, actually, as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Interestingly, like that, if you want to emulate Monster Hunter Portable Third, they tell you to get the HD version, because that emulates on, like, emulators better. But if you're playing it on a Vita or an actual PSP, to get the original version, because that one only works on those.
Interesting.
Dead Chicken in chat says this lady's been actually killing it on right. So far she only has 336 knockouts. Yeah. Find the KOs.
One of those non-lethal words.
I mean, you could see it. It's got the lightning. It's just the little stun. Like hitting someone with a stun rod in real life. It's totally safe, and you can go ahead and do it. It's fine.
Practice.
This is financial advice. Yeah. There are some Musou games with violence in them, and a lot of them, for various reasons, don't review well. Like, I'm even playing one that I actually like, the Berserk one, but a lot of people don't like that. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, as far as like the violent Musou games are concerned, it's easily the best one. But then the competition is like the first Fist of the North Star Musou game is like infamous Kusoge. Pretty.
really?
It's real jank. It is like they tried a lot of stuff with it that I think is interesting. The execution is like not. It doesn't feel good.
I gotta
It's
say,
one
that
of
was
the-
one that
yeah.
drew me in, because I love Fist of the North Star, and I thought, like, oh, this game where just everyone's exploding into blood would be great. But,
The thing is that, yeah, that first one has like, oh, you can like pick up objects in the environment and use them, and like your character has like more unique like combat gimmicks. But then on a technical level, it runs pretty rough, and also like the way the enemies are spaced out, it's just never like you're never hitting quite enough guys. At the same time, like all your moves feel like they fall just short of like being satisfying all the time. The sequel cuts out almost all the gimmicks from the first one and it plays more like other Musou games, but it's a lot more fun.
okay.
Like I'd say that one's worth a shot. It's still not like amazing, like it does feel kind of a bit more threadbare, but I mean if you like Fist of the North Star, it's
And I do.
you know, it's a game that I mean now that there's the Yakuza spin-off, that's obviously much more appealing to Fist of the North Star fans, I think, but
I've heard
that's an
good,
original
I've never-
story.
Yeah, oh, is it?
Yeah. The Yakuza one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I know it exists, but I basically know nothing about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I
Um,
love Berserk, though, because I feel like that's gotta be filled with, like, blood and gore and freak shit.
Yeah, I mean, it also has like some of the like this scene where a woman sexually menaced. We're gonna do an FMV of this scene, but here's a scene that's pivotal, and we're gonna just do it like in engine with less animation and stuff. Which is like, what? You like Berserk, right? You know, when this happened to this character, it was a bad thing, and when this scene happened, it was a good thing, and you might want to spend money on that part, but. I don't know, like it's just like a side effect of them being like, well, to set it apart from other moves, so we're gonna focus on the blood. I'm like, okay, it's like and the sex. I'm like, you don't need to do that.
Why is there sex?
Yeah, I don't want to think about what like Musou sex mechanics would be.
Talk about judging someone grabbing a body count.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you mentioned if there are any like relationships in Warriors Archery, the crossover, and there aren't explicitly, but Warriors Archery 3, and especially 4, has like dialogue scenes between characters where if you like either sort them together, or you have them like train together, you can get dialogue scenes. And that's got to be some of the most homosexual dialogue I've seen in any video game. Literally, just someone being like, "You're one guy like from Summer, where it's a character from Dicey, where it's like you're like a sky, like a wide blue sky, a tolerant sky, and I'm happy to be a cloud in that sky for a good while." Yeah, that's just one. So many of them are like that. So many of those dialogue scenes are that. Like, even a mission where, like, women who are, like, famous wives of characters talk about being wives, all of them, like, talking to each other and relating to each other is still gay sounding.
What fools these mortals be?
Hatchet Man.
Yes.
I mean,
Can you
I
kite
tell all my
enemies?
bros I want to be a cloud in the sky.
For I have failed.
Can you kite enemies? That's a good question for the dead chicken.
To an extent.
Like, there are limits, right? I'm assuming you have to watch your back.
Oh, yeah, because enemies are generally, like, defending a point of some kind, usually, so they want to go back there.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. There are some in the Dynasty Warriors and like some where it's like Empires spin-off games. They have like the base capturing mechanic be more explicit, and in some cases you can actually have a mission where like the guy defending the base is like been kited off elsewhere, and you can defeat if you can kill enough enemies in the base and defeat the base captain. You can take it without killing the guy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
That's
those games
really
are very interesting. Like I feel like some people prefer them because they're not like locked in by the rigidity of like the historical story. But also, if you don't play the main game first, you're not going to have any idea who anyone is, or any idea of what's even supposed to happen in the first place.
Like,
So,
you have
like,
new and exciting takes on characters you have no idea about.
yeah, and you might miss the fact that like in Dynasty War, especially later ones, like that guy I mentioned, how I mentioned there's one character who attacked to one side of his horse, so he's the best character. That
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
name is Zhou Tai. But historically, there was a still notable, but not that notable guy, also named Zhou Tai. So you could play the game and be like, "Oh, Zhou Tai's on this map," and then you could fight a guy with like a quick draw giant katana, or you could fight a generic officer guy, and you'd be like, "Wait, what's going on?" It's because you don't know there are two guys.
Long live the Hojo clan.
Oh, he died hardcore.
I think you'll find I am as tough as they come.
Alright.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Life without
Yeah.
pride is worse.
Yeah, this is like, I have a feeling like I would get nothing out of the story because I just zone out too much playing it. I'm pretty sure I'd miss all of it.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I definitely noted when I played Warriors Archie 3. I actually like, oh, this story's actually like, considering that they just had to be like crossover, smash action figures together. Isn't that great? And like they could have just sold it like that, but the story's actually pretty decent. But then when I played Warriors Archie 4, I had to keep pausing the game because those 3 and 4 both aren't dubbed. But I guess because 4 came out in an era with like higher resolution screens, the subtitles are way smaller, so I kept missing what they said during battles. So I eventually developed the habit of at the end of a stage in Warriors Archie 4, I'd be like, did I actually see in that dialogue? So I'd pause and go into the battle log to read all the dialogue. Like, oh, that's pretty funny actually.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember playing Blade Storm, which I think is a spin-off, and that having the smallest text I've ever seen in my fucking life. I read that shit with a magnifying glass. That game was sweet though, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Never made a
Video
fun
which
one.
says, "What you don't know is there were two guys," has big "there was a sewer man" energy to me.
So what do you think, Bachman?
Yeah, I'm into it. I think I'm into the gameplay style more than I am the setting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel this feels a bit like studying for a test for me. Like,
Yeah, it can't be a lot, though. I will say, like, my best friend and I both had played Dynasty Warriors, like, when we were teenagers, and, like, we had enough of the interest in the setting that, actually on YouTube, you can watch the entirety, almost every episode of War of the Three Kingdoms. Except for one episode, which I think has a licensed song in it, so you have to find it on, like, Vimeo or Blip or something. And that actually gave me, like, a total different appreciation for this setting, but it's usually easier to go in reverse, like, with a setting you're already familiar with.
right.
But just, like... but yeah, I mean, that... Yeah, they all have varying... Like, the One Piece games don't have you getting randomized items and equipment, because, like, the characters have set move. Like,
Right.
if it doesn't use weapons, he has them already. That's his body, so...
You don't unlock new fists.
Yeah. So some games don't have the itemization. But then, like, actually playing One Piece Pirate Warriors, like, the character gimmicks are so much more defined, and, like, you know, the setting just fits the style so much better that, like, I think even missing out on the itemization, it's still really appealing. Whereas something like Hyrule Warriors has, like, that itemization still, which I really like. But
Yeah.
also the unlocking stuff takes forever in that game.
Yeah. I'm watching through One Piece for the first time, and I just like not too long ago passed through like all the Enies Lobby stuff and CP9, and that whole section just reminded me of a Musou game because of, like they keep coming out and showing you a map with where everybody is and arrows showing you the direction they're going, and like so yeah, I have a feeling that it would fit that really well. Yeah. But have you only played the one?
I've only I played a bit of Pirate Warriors 1 and 2 for podcast research, but I actually like sat and played Pirate Warriors 3.
So do they is it the same thing where it's like they're just starting at the beginning of the story for each one of those, or are they like a chunk of the story, or are they their own thing?
So for those actually Pirate Warriors 1 starts. I actually don't think it doesn't start at the very beginning. It starts at like a set. I don't remember what arc it is, and then progresses from there.
Okay.
So like the crew's already there, and then Pirate Warriors 2 is an original story that's also like in between 2 points in the story. But then Pirate Warriors 3 starts from the beginning, and then I think Pirate Warriors 4 also does start from the beginning and cover the same events. But then since it goes a longer amount of time, they skip some stuff that was in 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Mike, do you want to play one of these on stream and just inundate me with lore?
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. I want to get a couple 100 more episodes into One Piece, though. And then...
what does that even mean? How many hundreds of episodes could there be?
I mean, there's over 1,000. I don't know what the number is, but I'm
That's a lot.
I'm like 358. I think is where I'm at.
Okay, yeah. If you want to know the so I double checked. Pirate Warriors 3 ends at the Dressrosa arc, and it doesn't end at the end of where it does in the manga. It just has its original ending because that arc wasn't finished when the game came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we should play that at some point.
That's sweet.
Cool. Well, thanks, Sid.
Yeah.
This is
of course.
This is good. I think I don't know that I will be playing much more of these because I think that's the thing is I would prefer to play with a setting that I'm familiar with, and then I'd get more out of it. But I really like the gameplay. I mean, it's a perfect game for just kind of turning off my brain at on easy like you were saying. But
yeah. The only other ones that are based on a tie-in that I think would be easy to get into would be the Dragon Quest Heroes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because the Dragon Quest is just very simple. So even though it is a crossover, there's not much to know about the characters.
Right. I did play a decent amount of Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, and also that one because she knows Zelda.
But are there any modern versions on the Switch other than Hyrule Warriors? Because it does feel like a perfect Switch game.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 8. Actually, the best version of Dynasty Warriors 8 is on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, because the PC. First of all, it's called Complete Edition on Steam, but then there's $100 of DLC still for it. But the Definitive Edition on Switch has all the DLC included. So even at full price, it's an unbelievable deal compared to most Koei games. But also the PC version of Dynasty Warriors 8 has an implementation where the analog stick just translates to the cardinal direction, so and diagonals. Not full analog movement, but the Switch version has full analog movement, which I didn't think mattered until I actually played it, and it was 1,000,000 times worse on PC compared to the Switch version. So that's that, and they did complete version of Samurai Warriors 4, but they didn't bring that one over. And then One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 on Switch also includes all the DLC for that.
Oh, sick.
Oh, sweet.
That's probably where I'm going to play it then.
Yeah, and also the PC version for that's pretty busted. Originally it ran really poorly, but now modern, they didn't fix it. It's just that modern computers can just brute force through their bad programming. But then there's still lots of weird graphic glitches, just huge black squares in the middle of cutscenes and stuff like that. So
cool.
Switch version's definitely the way to go. Yeah.
No, those are in the source material.
Yeah, like weirdly, Dragon Quest Heroes, even though it was a Koei Tecmo and Square Enix PC port, so it should be one of the worst ports of all time, actually is totally fine.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's fine to get, but yeah, I'd be careful around some of the other. Like, you should look up a Musou game to see if the PC port's any good or not before you get it there.
Total dice roll.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's probably a good place to call it. I'm
Sure.
falling asleep at the wheel, so.
Fair enough. Night, y'all. We'll see you next week.
See you guys later.
Thanks for having me.